And that's the way we're kicking off Send It Sunday this week. Yeah, that was George, 15 years old, in Portland Harbour, having it. Oh man, he's hanging 5 for a second there. If you ever wondered why there's non-slip on the nose of a board, yes, that is why. It's for hanging 5 at full speed. Now that is George, which is Jim Crossley. Yes, you know, you've seen him at the top of the water speed app on the GPS rankings. He's obviously just been over in Luderitz. More on that in a second. But yeah, this is his son, or one of his sons, 15 years old. George, he's on a 5.3, I think a Loft Sales Auction, which I think is their no cam, iSonic, and just sending it. Maybe practicing for the Weymouth Speed Week, you know, looking at following in his dad's footsteps. We love to see the young fellas out there absolutely smashing it. We've got a few things we're going to talk about this week, but definitely we've got to talk about Luderitz because, well, it was a bit of an anti-climax this year. You know, had all the big dogs there this year. You know, a few of them had changed sponsors. There was like a battle of the brands going on, you know, after last year and the world titles, world records, you know, getting broken by Albo in the men, Jenna Gibson and women. We were like, everyone was excited, and you were like, and it just didn't deliver. Yes, there was wind. Yes, they had, you know, some good speeds, but they weren't close to world record pace, and there was quite a lot of chop on the channel. So in the end, no records were really broken. Senegal record maybe went, but I mean, apart from that, it was there was not much happening. But who were the winners from the week? Well, Jenna Gibson, she was definitely the fastest woman there. I think mid 46 knots, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And Albo, he was still got it, hasn't he? Still got it. I think 52 he did in the week, which was a couple of knots faster than the closest challenger. His closest challenger were all like separated by nothing. But the big man is still there, yes, which was interesting to see. We've got to shout out Brendan Loho, 78 kilos, and he was up there with the big dogs on the days, which was really impressive stuff. He's not short, you know, he's got leverage, had weight on, but still, probably one of the quickest in the world at that weight. Really cool to see that. Really like seeing that. So Albo, that was the big one, wasn't it? Who was going to be? You know, Vincent Wagner had actually a big crash. Obviously signed over to Patrick, and I thought he could be really challenging. But I think in the choppy stuff, Albo is still the king. And I say chop, it's obviously all relative. So yeah, we did do a competition last week. So if you want to win a hat and you answered Mr. Antoine Albo and Jenna Gibson, I know some of you had already seen the result. Don't worry, it's part of the fun. But if you remember and you supported the channel, like these absolute legends, you're in the chance to win the hat. So I'm going to draw one out the hat now. It's you. You've just won a Windsurfing.TV hat. Money can't buy these things. So yeah, send me a message and I will send you a hat for Father Christmas. Hopefully it'll get there before Christmas. I've still got a few to send out. So if you haven't received your hat yet, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. And we've got the new website coming. I'm kind of excited about this. It's going to be kind of a slow, soft launch, and we're going to be adding features throughout the year, but we have quite big plans. Well, I do. George, my web man, he's been an absolute legend because I am a nightmare to work with. So you legend. He's just been bearing with me, but hopefully we'll sort of launch it maybe in the next week or so. Again, I'll talk more of that on something else. Not going to go into it in too many details right now. But we've got to thank the sponsors. SavantShop.com. Yes, they are still supporting Send It Sunday. Will they be on for 2026? We don't know. We will find out very soon. We might have a new one. We might still have the SavantShop.com in the UK. So we'll have to watch this space. Okay, what else has been going on? We're still going to talk about speed. Look at this fella. Yeah, this is the Eagle. Yes, the Eagle, or the Viking. He's got 2 nicknames. I think he's got a big tattoo of an eagle, but we're going to call him the Viking because he looks like someone off the Vikings. And look at the speed. Yeah, part of the black team. He said he picked up a speedboard. I think his first try was about a year ago on a speedboard, and he's never looked back since. And he's just gone through the 40 knot barrier over 500 meters. So he's super happy, and he is just, you can feel the sort of smile through the email. You know, I can just feel the energy. This guy is loving it right now. He's loving the speed. He just did like the fastest kind of mile for the Masters in 2025, I think he said. But yeah, he's absolutely loving it. And his plan is to just keep on pushing. I think his max speed 42 and a bit knots, so pretty quick. But where does he rank on the water speed app? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look where that puts him. So we're going to go to our challenges, and we've got the 2025 Windsurf 5-second top speed challenge. We're going to click on that. It ends at obviously the end of this year at midnight. So you've still got a chance to do it. At the moment, who is on the leaderboard? Well, Simon Pettifer, still at the top. That was his Luderitz speed. Jim Crosley, I'm pretty sure that was in West Kirby. Yeah, the Wirral, West Kirby. We've got Jenna Gibson, a girl, a lady, in third. Yes, he's absolutely having it. O'Sheen, obviously, we talked about in the last couple of weeks. He's over in Ireland. Tim Humphries, the Wirral, another West Kirby. William Trossel, Westcliff on Sea. Oh, that's Southend. So Southend on Sea. The UK is killing it on the water speed app. Got Patrick over in Zonnenair. That must be Dutchy land somewhere, is it? Yeah, over in Holland. Over in Holland. What else have we got? But I tell you what I don't see the Viking. I don't see the Viking. Is he not on the water speed app? Oh, cut the section. Cut the section. He's not there. I'm scrolling down. I'll tell you who I do see, though, is, well, me. 36th place at the moment. I've got some work to do. And guess what? Old Regis in Mauritius, I'm sure it is. Yes, he's above me. It's my nemesis. We're battling out on the small slalom boards. We seem to be about that 37 peak. So that is the battle is on. Mark Paré, 32nd. I'd like to get into the top 30. I need a windy day. Anyone else doing some speed? Anyway, if you're not on the water speed app, get involved. Just click on the QR code. You've still got a chance to enter that. And we're going to give away a few prizes when that is done at the end of the year. Caps, yes, I know. We have got some T-shirts, maybe. Ooh, it's getting exciting. I know what you're thinking. Okay, so where are we going next? Well, it'd be rude not to go back to Brazil. Yes, we talked about Bals Moller the last few weeks, but guess what? He's gone home. But who is left? Who has turned up? I'll tell you who's turned up. This fella has turned up. Yes, Jacopo Testa, the Italian stallion. Is that the right word? I don't know. But he is absolutely killing it. Look at these things. Massive moves. I seen something like this massive shaka on the way in, almost like a double shaka. It's like, what? He was third in the world last year. Obviously, he's always challenging for those titles. He's been up there for many years on the We1 boards as well, which was really interesting to see. We weren't sure how he was going to get on, but he seems to be absolutely smashing it out the park. Like I say, just check out some of these moves. Yeah, some huge combos going on, just huge freaking, I'm like, kind of going, boom, brain is just exploding. I seen 4 Spocks. Is that like, when I was a freestyler, 2 Spocks was a big deal. Now it's like 4 Spocks. I'm like, what? What else is there? I mean, there's the loop, the Diabolo loop where he lands and like ducks the sail. Yeah, obviously double air culo. That's kind of a standard move for these boys now. They are big stuff, but all sorts of technical stuff going on. So yeah, he's over in Brazil, not in Jericoacoa. It's like down the coast from there, but looks like some really good conditions and like a fun park. Yentel Cares is over there at the moment, so I think those two have been sailing together, as I mentioned last week. But Testa, look at this stuff he's pulling off. Could he be a potential world champion? Well, yes, he has been knocking on the door, and it wouldn't take much for him to just go that extra level. But Yentel Cares, Leonard Neubauer, these guys are going to put up a hell of a fight, plus many others. But he is definitely in the picture. And when you've got a training ground like that over the winter, really interesting to see. But how do you get to that level? Where do you start from to get to that level? I'll tell you where you start from. You start from here. Yes, I'm telling you, that's where you start. This is Sandy, 12 years old, just starting his windsurfing journey. Yes, and that is where it starts. You know, it's frustrating, it's hard work, it's cold, it's difficult. Windsurfing is not an easy journey, but all these guys that we featured started here. Cruising around, tacking, getting used to jibing, then moving into the chop, you know, catapulting in the harness. This is where it all started, but you have to stick with it. You gotta stick with it, because windsurfing is not just a sport, it's a full-on lifestyle. It's a mind shift. It will change your world, trust me. I've been speaking about it more recently to people, and it's like, it's one of those sports, there's a few out there, but they're a lifestyle. They're not just you go play squash, that's a sport. You go windsurfing, it's everything. Your friends, what you do, you're checking the, you know, I heard Sandy's downloaded the Wind Guru app before school, checking it. You know, it will take over your life. If you're not prepared for that, don't bother getting into it. But you want it in your life. It's a great way to get out of the rat race, the normal life, and just get free, and it will change everything. Trust me, lots of people it has helped. Let me know in the comments if windsurfing, actually that's the competition this week. I want a cool thing about windsurfing. Hashtag member if you're a member, if you want to win a Windsurfing.TV hat. If you're not a member, no problem, but still give us your little anecdote, a reason why windsurfing's great or what it's done for you. I'd love to hear the stories, because it genuinely has changed everything. And well, remember this clip from last week? Remember the Dan Keeley. Yeah, firstly, actually, let's apologise to Finn Mullen, because I put in a picture thinking it was from another angle because someone sent it me. It wasn't. This was Finn from 10, 15 years ago. I remember Molligmore, same place, but different thing. So it wasn't Dan, but the video is Dan. And I did see a few comments online. What is he doing there? He's way out of his depth type thing. You're like, this guy is an absolute charger. Yeah, he might not be a name you see on the world tour or something like this, but look at the waves this guy toes into. This guy's an absolute Irish charger. So I thought we'll get some background. And we used to do a feature on Windsurfing.TV, Random Ripper of the Week or Month or whatever. Dan is an absolute ripper. So firstly, we got to say, he did finish second in the Mayo Mayhem, just behind Timo Mullen, like half a point behind. So, you know, he is a ripper, whatever. But you look at the waves he's charging. I mean, freaking hell, absolutely epic. He said, so I got the background. He started windsurfing at age 20, and by 21 or whatever, he was already tripping around the world. Australia, Margaret River, Maui, Canaries, I think Cape Verde, I don't know, I'm making some up now, but a lot of different places, you know, teaching windsurfing, waiting, just doing what he did. And then a few years back, decided to come back to Ireland, settle down, and he's moved to the West Coast, which is where the waves are, and he's been charging it. So he does everything. He surfs, he kites, he foils, but he says windsurfing is his main passion. Of course it is. He said if it's logo high cross off, that's the go-to. There is nothing that comes close. If windsurfing's on, everything else is out the window. And it is just, he said it is kind of, it has shaped his life. And a lot of windsurfers say that, you know, that whole thing, the people you meet, the places you go, everything around it comes from windsurfing. So it's just such a cool thing. And now he's a tree surgeon. Any of you guys looking for a job, you know, young, you think, what can I do? Tree surgeon, amazing job, because when it's windy, can't cut trees down. Or when it's been windy, after it's windy, all the trees are on the floor, you've got to go clean them up. It's a perfect job. So yes, there we go. What a charger. So to answer the questions, I think Musso was one of them. What's he doing there? And someone else saying he's out of his depth. I think by looking at those pictures, let me know in the comments below. I reckon he's all right. I reckon he's all right. So there we go. That is it for Send It Sunday this week. Only one thing left to say, that no matter where you are in the world, don't forget to send it.